Rhea is a 19-year-old student at Rizal University. She is known for being studious, academic achiever, and a top student. She is often seen reading a book. She has a sensitive personality, often seen being alone. She is shy to communicate her thoughts to her friends and family. Thus, they do not understand her. One day, during their group study, she felt a stabbing pain in her stomach. She felt cold, sweat coming out, and felt nauseous. When they were about to go back to the classroom, she fainted. She was brought to the hospital immediately.
At the hospital, she was assessed by the nurse. Assessment. The nurse will assist the patient on her condition, observe the patient taking careful of the normal eating habits of the patient.
Diagnosis: pain related to stimulation of pain receptors in the stomach lining. Imbalanced nutrition related to poor dietary practice. Knowledge deficit related to importance of a nutritional diet appropriate for each. Implementation: assess physical condition of patient beliefs. Give the patient health teachings on how to maintain proper nutrition. Take care of patient discomfort. Continue interaction with patients and therapeutic communications. Evaluation: after Rhea's nursing intervention, Rhea would be able to adjust and deal properly with the stressors to attain balance for her health.
Phase of original encounter. A patient was admitted to the hospital due to depression. A nurse was assigned to take care of the patient. Upon reading the chart and the history of the patient, the nurse visited the patient. For the first time, the nurse saw the patient, vice versa. The nurse greeted the patient with enthusiasm, but the patient was staring blank at the nurse with no sense of wanting to leave anymore. This is according to the nurse's assessment of the patient. Phase of emerging identities. Upon doing the assessment, the nurse identified that the patient is within the probability of having suicide. So the nurse formulated a nursing care plan regarding suicide precautions for the patient, made an agreement for a non-suicidal contract. Phase of empathy. After such time that the nurse interacted with the patient finally shared something to the nurse. The nurse kept silent and listened to the patient attentively. The nurse showed his concern to the patient by staying with the patient and listened to his concern. Phase of sympathy. The patient is scheduled to have an ECT. The nurse, knowing that it will be a painful procedure to the patient, made a nursing care plan regarding the care for post-ECT patients. The nurse remembered his brother, who was also a depressed patient, who undergone ECT last 2 years ago. The nurse felt sympathy for the patient that he didn't leave the patient till he recovers from the ECT procedure. Phase of rapport. The nurse and the patient developed a special bonding that the patient quickly recovered from his state of depression.
Orientation. Due to dizziness, patient was brought to the clinic. She was interviewed by the nurse about the history of her family. If she has eaten or not, vitals of the patient were also taken for laboratory tests. Identified from the information gathered and tests made, it was figured that she has benign paroxysmal vertigo. Flotation. Proper prescription was made for the patient's illness. Nurses advised patient of proper care to avoid repeating situation. Resolution, additional advice and order given to the patient, reminders of how to avoid illness and enjoy life more without fear of repeating the situation.
Kasi ang importante na nakikita naman